Livis strawberry liquor, plus some Pilsner bottles too. Better not pick them up.
A tragedy.
He shakes his head with genuine sadness. You see traces of mayonnaise and ketchup on it, as well as a tomato wedge. The wrapper reads, Shish Kebab. It's hard to concentrate in the smell. The sea air brings some relief. Whoever tossed it here was a heavy smoker. The brand name reads, Red Astra. A man lies on the boardwalk, his limbs bent and neck turned at an unnatural angle. Right next to him is an empty bottle of spirits. In his cramped hand, a chewing gum wrapper. Half of his body has slipped between the cracked boardwalk, starting with the right leg. The fall has left him broken, contorted like a sad puppet. The smell is not as bad as a 2-week-old corpse, but it's definitely heading there.
Hold on. Lividity is faintly pronounced. Whoever this is has been dead for 2 days. No longer. We need to investigate.
Another dead body. This is your job. Steel yourself. Calm now. Carefully. Just another day. Just another dead body. Breathe. He's wearing mud-caked boots, beige trousers, and an old brown leather jacket with a bright blue lining. There are traces of kebab sauce on his chest. A cool leather jacket with a bolt of blue? Oh no. This sounds terribly familiar. You find some sunflower seeds and a rain-soaked library card folded into two. His jacket feels sodden and heavy under your hand.
Good. We should take a look at that library card after this is done.
The man has fallen through a crack in the boardwalk and hit his head against the metal bench. Coagulated blood covers his black hair. One of his feet is still dangling through the hole. A bad fall. It might have been dark outside. This place is a minefield in the dark. When damp, these boards are really slippery. Even a sober man could lose their balance here. His expression is dull, like the sea behind him. Drops of water shining on his mustache. His eyes, empty and wide, look frightening in their frozen gaze. Height, 170 to 175 centimeters. Curly hair, stout build. Age, approximately 50 to 60 years. He was confused when he died. confused and alone, most likely, overcome with the awful surprise of it all. There's some dried blood on the metal bench, right where the corpse's head rests. The floorboards are rotten and slippery wet around the hole. An empty bottle lies nearby. A chewing gum wrapper is clutched in his fist. Be very, very careful where you step here. Hrabowski spearmint chewing gum. Green leaves on the cover. The man's mouth is half agape from the terror of the fall. The blackness of death. Stench. You think you see white chewing gum too?
He ate the whole pack, right? It's to cover the smell of alcohol before going home. The worst thing is, I've seen it before. Almost the same scenario, even the chewing gum. It's always the same.
In a ditch off a road below the 881, he thinks. A young father. Then he shakes his head to make the memory stop. A dried chunk of blood covers the hair at the back of his head. An open wound. It's sticky and cold to your touch. This is what killed him.
I don't see any other major wounds, do you? Seems like the head wound was fatal. It's exactly the shape of the bench.
A .75-liter Tallulah vodka with its cap missing. There's hardly anything left inside.
Tear all around us.
They screech under your feet ominously. It's hard to say whether the dead man's weight was the cause of the boardwalk to break. It definitely looks fragile. You see waves churning below. Something cracks beneath your feet. The entire boardwalk creaks in the wind as you take a step back.
Looks like one of the locals. He'd have to know this spot to come here. You don't just walk over here. But that's just a lazy assumption. What do you think?
A dead working-class man with a bottle in his hand? Don't deceive yourself. You know who this is.
The woman you met at the book stand? Why do you think it's her husband? The bright blue lining? Well, he's definitely someone's husband. Death by misadventure. He slipped and fell through the boardwalk. A truly unfortunate accident. If it wouldn't have been for that bench, he'd be alive. No, I don't see anything that points in that direction. For now, let's treat this case as a simple, albeit sad, accident, unrelated to the murder case.
Agreed. If this somehow converges later, why not? But keep it simple for now.
Oh yes. Some symptoms of acute alcohol poisoning could have definitely played a role here. Severe confusion, respiratory depression, unpredictable behavior. But I think that death arrived through head trauma, not liver failure. What about it? The deceased ate some kebab. It's probably from a nearby place, maybe in the Pox.
Sometimes a kebab is just a kebab.
They'll seal this place off after the news reaches the coalition officials. I doubt that they have enough resources to actually repair the boardwalk. Not that sealing it off would keep anyone away. All it does is keep the city council's hands clean. It does seem to be a pretty straightforward misadventure, although there's still a question of identifying the body. From where I stand, I can see two options. We either take the case and follow the leads to identify the body on our own, or we report back to the station and leave this for our colleagues to handle. Alright, we should first examine the library card you found. Then we can call the station from my kinema. Let them know we are taking the case.
The precarious world. How not to lose? It is impossible not to. The world is balanced on the edge of a knife. It's a game of frayed nerves. You're pushed on by numbers and punitive measures, pain, rejection, and unpaid bills. You can either play, or you can crawl under a boat and waste away, turn into salt, or a flock of seagulls. Your enemies would love that. Or you can fight. The only way to load the dice is to keep on fighting. As you hold it in your hands, it makes an uncomfortable crunching sound. It's a sordid, filthy tale, not for the weak. Are you sure you can stomach it? It occurs to you that you're not even holding the jacket itself, but rather the thick crust of jetsam and seagull shit that ensconces it. It smells like a dead sea creature, tangled in grey strands of seaweed. It must have spent quite some time in the water before the tide deposited it ashore. Why? Why did you think about it? Look at your hands. They're covered in muck. What? No. Then it'll just be on your pants. This is a disaster. You'll never get the smell out. As you hold it in your hands, it's probably better that way. The library card is folded into two and still slightly wet to the touch. The front side reads, Central Jamrock Public Library Card. Billy is a unisex name. Could be the deceased, or his family member. Whoever owns this card is an avid reader. You find a list of books written in blue pencil. Radio thriller. Stand a little less between me and the sun. The last one in the list is The Glinton Curve by M. Theobald. A library. Most of these titles seem to be in the sci-fi genre. Some thrillers too. If lost, please return the card to the library. Dial 005 02 55 211 or visit us at Moreau Street.
Good. We should give them a call from my kinema. See if we can learn anything about Billy Méjean.
The face of King Freecell smiles it. A man lies on the boardwalk. There's some tear, an empty cigarette package, and a crumpled kebab. Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand shut in front of you. The rectangular sea-worn...
If you really think we should get in there, we need to find some other way. It does seem rather irrelevant to our case.
An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot. The wind has blown a sand dune in front of it.
It's military, a service depot of... The washerwoman mentioned a depot up the coast. She said it was for moving ammo and cargo across the bay. This might be it.
There's a trap in the reeds at your feet. Looks like the same one you saw Morell set before. Same mesh, same wiring. Locusts are crawling around in the trap, confused but uneaten. You see no carnivorous reed phasmid gorging on them.
Big surprise. Anyway, 1 down, 3 to go. Surely. Anyway, the air is nice and fresh here.
The reeds sway in the coastal breeze. They seem to be waiting for something. The wind picks up here, near the Cape's end, surrounding the narrow strip of land from 3 cardinal directions. It's cold for this time of year.
Yes? A metal payphone under a yellow... You hear the tone. Calling. Still, this feels wrong. End of tone.
Pierre? Is that you, Pierre? So nice of you to find the time to call me. It gets so lonely. Even are you sure you're Pierre?
Her voice is drowned in white noise. Sounds like waves washing a beach, growing in volume until the call suddenly disconnects. You get a sinking feeling. It makes you look if Lieutenant Kitsuragi overheard you. To your relief, he did not. Calling. Still calling. Again? Seriously? Someone with a masculine voice picks up.
Hello, Gerard speaking. What are you, like 5? Thanks for calling, asshole.
Phone hanging up. Disconnect tone. Calling. Calling. Still calling. Still.
Stop calling me, man. I'll get you your money, alright? I just need till tonight. Let me work. Tethys. Hey! You're not Tethys. Screw you, and don't ever call here again.
Disconnect tone. Calling.
I'm tired.
Sounds like he hasn't talked to anyone in quite a while.
There is nothing.
The man disappeared. You do not hear the customary disconnect tone. Just silence in the handset. The machine is still waiting for you to dial a number. Seems like it did not have time to swallow the coin. This sometimes happens. Lucky you. The call went too fast for the payphone to register. You can still make a new one without paying. You close your eyes and put your index finger on the rotary dial. Then pull down on the number. Then move one up, twice. Strange. This is not how you started before. You dialed 001. This is not the area code of Revachol. It is another destination on another Isola. Some far-off nation-state. 414447. The rotary dial feels cold from the sea air. 1117361. Your fingers keep moving like a spider. Every time the ring rotates back with a little ring of metal, like a bell tolling. Yes, 451-67451. You are going deeper now, into some unknown place, far away from this island of matter and its telecommunication networks. 451. You have dialed God knows how many numbers. The headset has been waiting silently to relay a signal. Surely nothing can come of this, you think. But it does. A connection. An ultra-long distance call. Your air fills with a crackle, the wash of a strange ocean full of white noise. A little bird starts ringing in there, not like the local calling tone before. No, a small ring in a cage of distortion, far away. A distant network of phones, calling. Calling in the night. The saddest sound in the world. Calling still. The handset starts slipping from your sweaty palm. Your breathing is heavy. The lieutenant is too far away to hear your yelp. The sea wind blows. Calling, 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 calling still. Then the ocean breaks. Out of the depths, a woman's voice emerges. Small. The dearest thing you've ever heard.
Hello? connection is bad.
Dora. The name feels like a gift. A gift that was meant for you, to make it possible to live. And fight. In the distorted distance, you hear someone turning next to her. Bed springs rattle. It doesn't matter if you react or not. You still think you hear a man's voice in the background. It's covered in pain and white noise.
No. It's you, isn't it? It's you. You're not a high net worth individual, Harry. You're drunk.
You only have 2, maybe 3 things left to say before the change runs out.
Because it's me. Look, I don't understand what you're saying or why you're calling me. You seem drunk. Oh, God. Do you know what time it is? It's so late here. It's 4 o'clock, Harry. I need to wake up in 2 hours. To work.
No response, only a sigh. The connection crackles like burning paper.
I'm in Morova, sleeping. What do you want to talk about that we haven't talked about already?
This is bad. You feel your right hand on the handset cramping up with pain.
Yes. Oh no, please stop. Please, let's just hang up. No, I want to go to sleep.
She does not answer anymore.
Harry.
Disconnect tone. The machine ran out of money. You in the middle of it. A familiar ring. Small. Distorted. Calling. 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 It looks like she doesn't want to pick it up, Harry. Stop scaring her. Calling. Calling.
Harry, please. Please. I'm going to hang up now, okay?
Phone hanging up. Disconnect tone. The remaining windows rattle from a strong gust of wind. They're covered in a thick layer of grime. They must have been like this for 40 years. Dripping water falls from a high place. All you can see is the shadow of a collapsing staircase.
No, I won't even try. You know, I had a partner once. They called him Eyes, because he had to show me things. It's that bad.
This partner of his, Eyes, things didn't end well. It saddens him to say his name. Don't even ask. He wouldn't answer. Maybe some other small talk.
Yes?
This is the trap Morel just set. Checking it over, this trap is also full of panicked locusts.
Another empty trap. Yep. The next one has a crab trapped in it. These are just crab traps.
The reeds hiss and shake. It's good the cryptozoologists left. This isn't a very cozy place to stay night after night. The later it gets, the colder. Remnants of the camp can still be seen in the sand. The fire that's gone out. You feel strange, somehow. This trap's not too hard to nothing but locusts in...
Empty as all of them. Well, I'm just glad we haven't found some poor cat.
Behind you, the ruins of a residential building rise over the reeds, shielding them from the wind. The reeds rustle confidently. When this district was booming, the reeds were kept at bay. Nothing obscured the freshly painted facades. Nowhere for drunks and adventurous teenagers to hide. Now only the wind blows. Behind you, the ruins of a residential building rise over the reeds, shielding them from the wind. The reeds rustle, confident. When this district was booming, the reeds were kept at bay. Nothing obscured the